Hello, welcome back to Wireman's Whimsy. This is the third card in the series using the Softly Sophisticated stamp set. This one, more of a sympathy card, but you could change out the colors and do it however you like. If it get well card with a really happy flower on it. But what I've got is a Blackberry Bliss card base, a piece of basic black in 5 1/4 by 3 3/4, and a piece of basic white in 5 by 3 1/2. I've also got a scrap of Blackberry Bliss that I can use to make the mat here, and a piece of basic white where I can stamp the flowers. So I'm just going to go ahead and stamp those flowers. I've got Mossy Meadow as my green. So I'm just going to make sure I'm inked up well there. Love the photopolymer stamps because you can see where your ink is. All right, so that's got that one done. We're going to come in with the Blackberry Bliss and add the flower. Now this is kind of my registration mark here and then there, so I need to lean in just a little bit, so I'm sorry if I nudge the camera. I will try not to. There we go. Not too bad at all, and that needs to be cut out. I'm going to give it a minute for the ink to dry because this is a really juicy ink pad, and I don't want to end up transferring color to my cutting mats, because the plates will then transfer the color onto the next thing that I manage. So I've got the "You're in my thoughts" greeting, and I am just going to stamp it as a background over the whole card. There we go. Knowing that the middle is going to be covered up, but we still want to have some writing visible. So there we go. And I like the swoop on this one. It really just adds that little something extra to this. So there we go. And I'm just going to add in just a little bit of ink at the bottom there, and I think we're good. So we'll tuck that off to the side. And then this is flat mounted onto here. So these are slightly different dimensions than I normally work with. So this is, instead of 5 1/4 by 4, this is 5 1/4 by 3 3/4, and then 5 by 3 1/2 in the middle. So this will border up perfectly. It's going to be wider margins on the outside when we mount it on the card. So I'm just going to add some dimensionals to the back of this piece, and then we'll cut out our pieces for the front and we'll build the rest of the card. So let's just take these off, put them in my little tray. And we'll pick this up. And like I say, it's going to be equal margins top and bottom, but just that little bit wider side to side. So there we go. I actually like that a little bit extra. Okay, so let's get this going. I'm just going to trim this down so it doesn't take up quite so much space on the cutting mat. Okay. So we're going to put this down, and we're using one of the Stylish Shapes dies, one of the square ones. It's the second largest square. And then we're using the largest square on our scrap of Blackberry Bliss to cut that out. And we're just going to load that up and run it through the machine. And we'll cut it all out, and we will be good to do the front of the card. So if you're here for the first time, or you watch my videos regularly but you haven't subscribed yet, you can hit that subscribe button. It's 4 videos a week, unless it's Paper Pumpkin Week, and then I tend to do about 6 days of videos. Yeah, and you can always turn the notifications off if they bug you. Yeah, if you can like and subscribe, that would be fantastic. So we're just going to flat mount this onto here like this, and then we're dimensionalizing this onto the card front. Because the Blackberry Bliss is quite dark, you don't really see the black mat around it so much, but it does just give the lettering just that little bit of a kind of a frame. So we're just going to pop this down wherever it makes sense to put it. And I'm going to pop it right here, I think. Make sure I'm in the middle, edge to edge. There we go. So we've got a bit of a gap here. You can plan out if you need to put more ink in there, but I'm okay with that white space there and the white space here. You can see the You're in My Thoughts stamps. So that is our third card in the series using Softly Sophisticated. So thank you so much for watching, and let's create together again soon.